This is Miss Macavinia's store. Dig into a good book. This is Mrs. Truax's store / Bartlemy. A good book can be enjoyed anywhere. This is Miss Call's store. Flip-flopping with some good readers. Miss Link's store. Taking time out to read a good book. This is Miss Howler's store. It says, life is a beach. This is Mrs. Fritz's store. Flip-flop into a good book. This is Miss Steinbrook's store. Dive into a good book. This is Mrs. Becker's store. It says, catch the reading wave. This is Mrs. Young's store. It says, reading is officially awesome. This is Mrs. Haber's store. Take a bite out of a good book. This is Mr. Hayden's store. You're never alone with a good book. Swim by Leo Niami. This is Mrs. Benish's store. That sure is funny. This is Mrs. Dobbins' store. Sure going to miss you. This is Mrs. Farr's store. Sure going to miss you. This is somebody's store. It doesn't have a label, but
it doesn't have anything to say either.
Oh, this is a door. This is somebody's store. It has a little cute hat and some flip-flops, sunglasses, and suntan lotion. It's Mitchell's store. Take a book to the beach. This is Miss Vermilion's store. It says, sure love a good book. This is Miss Sprinkle's store. He has a ball with reading. This is the office's store / window. Reading sure is fun, school is cool. This is Mrs. Frank's store. We are a school of learners. This is Mrs. Schultz's store. Mrs. Parker's store. Drop an anchor and read a good book. Mr. Olson's store. This is Mrs. Davidson's store. We sure like to read. Represented. This is Mrs. Lawson in Mrs. Stroka's store. Fishy faces, kissy faces. This is Mrs. Shea's store. Catch a reading wave. This is Mrs. Winnie's. Fox and socks. At the beach, socks for fox.
And this one says fox in sock.
Okay, here is Miss Fritz Mather's door. What does the fish say? Reading is fantastic. This is Boone's store. Our class is jawsome. This is Mrs. Falconer's store. Cocoa nuts for kindergarten. This is Mrs. Lew's store. A day at the beach.
VES.
Fun in art and reading ish. I don't get it.
Nicely.